Hello and welcome to my allotment. I am here very early on a Monday morning. As you can see, the sun is shining absolutely beautifully. We had rain over the weekend, so I'm here to check the progress of everything. My name is Claire and I live in Wiltshire. I have a double allotment plot in Wiltshire, and I have a little home garden with flowers and a little vegetable patch and some fruit bushes at home. So today I thought I'd bring you along to my plot. It's nice and quiet. I am by an industrial estate and a building site at the moment, so you may hear quite a bit of background noise. I will try and do what I can for you. So here's my little tour. Okay, so here we have my pumpkins. So originally planted 19. One didn't survive, but all of the rest did really well. What I did is I placed pallets on the ground, pallets with quite big holes in between, so not the slatted type. I'd removed a couple of those on each side to leave a gap, probably about that big. Popped the pumpkin in each hole, so there was 2, 4, 6, 8 per pallet, and popped lots and lots of compost on top of that. The reason why I've done that is just to kind of give it some framework, just to keep the leaves up off of the ground, so when watering, the bottom leaves aren't getting wet, which obviously will cause disease, could possibly cause disease. And then I added, so I did that in an L shape, and then I added another pallet, the one I'm sat on here. So there is absolutely nothing growing in this one, but that is what I'm using again for everything to go over. So I've left a very big gap. I'd probably say about 10 meters for all the pumpkins to grow across the plot, away from the next door's plot and away from our main walkway. A lot of space, and they will grow right over to where I have the courgettes and right over to where the runner beans are, and by the time they get over to that point, those crops will probably be done anyway, so there'll be even more room. We'll probably give it another 2 meters by 4 meters. But yeah, so that's the pumpkins. So we have got some pumpkins on there. Never grown them before, but the pumpkins here, we bought them from the shops last year, and we kept all of the seeds. And what I did was I washed them all, dried them all, popped them into an envelope, and just looked after them over the winter, and then popped them in some soil, germinated them, brought them here. And I also have some at home in my front garden, which I will use for my autumn Halloween display, hopefully. Fingers crossed everything goes well out there, because it is a south facing front garden, and it's requiring watering 4 times a day because of that. So I am doing my absolute best to keep those babies growing, because I just think what a lovely thing to do, what a very nice natural thing to have as a Halloween decoration in my front garden, instead of lots of props that I normally make each year. So here's a closer look at the pumpkins. So here they are. They're looking absolutely fantastic. They are, I would probably say, almost at my waist height, and I am 5'5". So just inside there you can see some of the flowers. And let's have a look down here. That's one of the plants. Got some heads just down there. And then, as you can see, the empty pallet here. And I'm just allowing everything just to grow over, just here. And it will then go all the way across this piece here and all the way down round to here. That is the plan. And I have a frame there which they can grow up if they decide they're going to go in that direction as well, because the beans will be finished by then. Now let's go on a little pumpkin hunt. Let's see what we have. Do we have any pumpkins here? That's a tiny little one there. If you can see that one there. And I'm sure we must have more than that one. So we have some male flowers over here. Quite a few male flowers over here. No pumpkins that I can see here. No, let's have a look around the other side. You can see here where I'm allowing them to come over. They are starting to go on the walkway a little bit, so I will move those over today, just so they are staying on the ground. So if they want to, they can go into the ground. Let's have a look over here. Oh, I can hear some lovely bumblebees going on in here. Any here? No, just some bumblebees enjoying life right now. Let's have a look at those. There you go. There is a hive the other side of the allotment. So we get lots of bees here, which is very, very helpful. So I make sure I've got lots of flowers around for the bees to come and join us on our plot. So again, lots of flowers. Quite a few of them have died off over there though. So I don't know if that's all the heavy rain that we've had. Oh, it's not looking good, is it? Let's have a look. Oh, she says that, and look what I found. That is beautiful. That's a nice big one there. What I will do is I will have a look, see what I've got, just pop it on something so it's not sat directly onto the ground. Wow, that's huge. Oh, and another one here. So that is at least 2, 3 that I can see at the moment. To be honest, if I only get 10 out of all of these, I will be a very, very happy lady. I have no idea which ones are growing because I bought lots of different ones last year. Put all the seeds together and thought we'll do like a little pick and mix, see what happens. They will probably be all the same ones. But as long as we get something, I'll be more than happy. 10 is my goal. 5 to eat and 5 to have as decorations. So that is the pumpkin patch so far. From this angle, it looks absolutely stunning. Okay, so now onto our climbing frame. We have some beans. None of these have been taken off so far, so I'm hoping we've got something because we didn't last week. So that was a little bit disappointing. So on this side, here we go. So we have some beans. There isn't too many, but I definitely think there's some worth picking. It's in full sun, but the full sun side doesn't seem to be giving me anything. There's definitely not as many on there as I would like. I mean, still early days, it's still climbing up. Oh, here we go. This is what I'm looking for, something beautiful like that. We've got a couple of those just in there. So we have a little something. I'm sure I can make a little something with that for my dinner. I don't like to leave these ones too long because we have a lot of bird issues here. So then on to the other side. So these didn't get very tall. These ones, as you can see, got a bit crispy in the sun. So we have the purple Monge too. We did pick quite a lot of these. However, because of the way they've gone, what I've decided to do with them is just to let them carry on crisping away. I'm not going to pick any more. I mean, there's a few on here. There's a lot more on this side. And I'm just going to let these go to seed because I'd like these for next year, but definitely in a different place for next year. Somewhere with a little bit more shade, I think. So that is what I am doing with the purple Monge too. And then on we go to a bit of a disaster. So I love to learn as I go. I mean, that's the point of it, right? To get better, you grow and you learn. So I planted broccoli all down this side. First of all, it got eaten really bad by the pigeons. And then I popped some netting up. You can't see it very well there, but if I show you the stick going down. So there's netting all around this. And what I did is I angled the netting inwards so they find it harder to get on here. However, they already did so much damage. And then I started to get a disease. So just as I sort the pigeon issue out, let me show you a leaf. So see all the tiny little holes? I'm not 100% sure, but somebody did tell me that's flea beetle. And they did say that I could spray them, but to be honest, they were just too far gone. Within a week, they were literally destroyed. Some of them have heads, like this one here, but as you can see, it's brown. So all of these are going to be pulled up, cut up, and then I'm going to have a little Google just to find out. I mean, it could be spider mite, just to find out if I can put them in the compost safely without it ruining anything for the future that I use the compost on. So they are a disaster. However, I have got some more seeds and I am planning to do them more as a winter crop. So that's a learning curve for me. Obviously, I didn't know it was going to be as hot as what it was. but I bought more seeds, so we will progress. This is my second time of growing broccoli. The first one I did as a winter crop last year, and that worked very, very well. Talking of the compost heaps, I only had room for 2, which obviously 3 would have been ideal. So we class this as compost heap number 1. So this is the first one that I built. So this has been like this for 9 months now. I've been making this one. We gave it a really good turn last week, and this should be ready to mulch over the no-dig beds in the winter, ready for the crops. So that one's done actually pretty well. So I'd probably say there's around 5 inches there. And then we've got the compost heap we're currently using. There's some brown in there and some green in there. I've got some grass to go on there this week. It's had a really, really good chop with the chainsaw. Got in there with the chainsaw last week and gave it a really, really good chop up just to help with the progress. Doing that once a week now will just help break it down a little bit more. So this heap is higher than the first one, so we're expecting a lot more compost for next year. So the reason why we're putting this one on our beds this winter is because then that empties everything out there, ready to start again in the early spring. Here are the runner beans. Now they have done absolutely fantastic. So I grew these from seed in my garden in the little plastic greenhouse because I didn't have my main greenhouse by then. I've had 3 really great, fantastic harvests from these already. I've got 2 bags of runner beans all sliced and ready in my freezer for whenever I need them. And my mum has had them for her Sunday dinner for the last couple of weeks. I mean, look at those. And I already did a pick last week. They are just absolutely amazing. I could have done with them being a bit taller if I'm honest. So I'm thinking next year I might make my own frame and not use bamboo canes, just to have a taller frame. And I think I'll get a much bigger harvest that way. So yeah, so that one is absolutely, I mean, look at this. I mean, they're just absolutely beautiful. And they're such a great vegetable to store as well. So I'm very, very happy with the runner beans and the beautiful white flowers. So the debate is, do I do the white flower version again next year because we've had such a good harvest, or do I try the red one? Although I did see somebody with purple, and purple is my favourite colour. So I'm wondering, I'll have a little Google and find out, or have a look on YouTube to find out if there's a difference in taste. Over to the courgette and Swiss chard bed. Now I've showed you this one before. So we have the summer ball variety, which by the looks of it, I'm not going to get any more. They don't seem to be germinating anymore for me at all, but I have had quite a few. So that one's died off now, and that one's died off, and that one's died off. So yeah, it doesn't look like I'm going to be getting any more that side. So let's have a little check on the other side. And oh, we have some there, just in there. Let's move that big leaf because I can see but you can't. So we have got some more there, so I need to keep an eye on them to make sure there's plenty of bees on those. And then here is the second one. Oh, we have one growing just down there. Oh, and a lovely bumblebee. Good morning, bumblebee. And then the Swiss chard, which needs to come up today, and I can freeze that as well. So the courgettes, I've had lots of courgettes, but these ones aren't doing very, very well at all. So let's take off any of that I'm not doing very well. I will cut those back a little bit more. Let's just pop them over into the patch. There you go. And that one there, as I've just seen, this one has bolted. So we will pull that one up as well today. They were there just to give a bit of ground cover to stop any weeds coming up. They weren't there specifically to eat. So we have some courgettes over this side growing. Again, 1 or 2 of those aren't looking fantastic, but some of them are looking great. I mean, you can see how many we have harvested just by the amount of stalks that are there. So many, and I absolutely love them as well. And I've got other people in the family eating those as well now, which is always a bonus, which is really the point of doing this. onto the other side, we have some cauliflowers. Again, not being too successful with the cauliflowers. The first lot got completely destroyed by pigeons. Don't you just love them? The second lot got destroyed by spider mite. So this is the third lot that I've planted. They aren't doing great themselves. I have tied them up and I have put covering on them. Let's just have a look to see if we have anything here. So these are just the white ones. I've harvested. The purple ones seem to be absolutely fantastic, but to try and do the white ones has been very difficult. So we do have a little bit in there. Let me see if I can get it because of the sun. There is a little bit going on in there. Not too much going on in there. And then we have some mini sunflowers, which I purposely planted next to the pumpkins for the beautiful pollinators. But I mean, how absolutely fantastic is that? I mean, that's just summer. That's just how can that not make you smile? I mean, it's just absolutely stunning. Love them. So it's such a happy flower, such a happy plant. And then we have our Savoy cabbages, which aren't doing fantastic. Again, the spider mite here is crazy. But there are a few heads coming in this side. Let's see if I can get round this side. So there are a few heads on the ones pointing away from the sun. So I will keep them going because even if they don't work, it's great for the compost and it's great for the ground. Brussels sprouts are next. These have shot up in the rain. They were very, very small and we weren't getting a lot of rain. But like I said, with a weekend of rain, they seem to be doing much better. And we do have some sprouts. Let me see if I can get my hand in on one of these. Let's have a look at this one because it is the biggest. And there are some sprouts in there. I absolutely cannot stand Brussels sprouts. I'm talking that's probably my least favourite vegetable. However, 3 out of the 6 of us thoroughly enjoy them. So the idea is to have these now growing to use at Christmas with a sauce and some bacon bits and some breadcrumbs because that's how they are eaten in my house. And we go through lots and lots of packs of them. So maybe I'll get some enjoyment out of cooking them because I've grown them. And I will try them because I've grown them myself. That's the rules. If you grow it, you have to try it. And then just 3 little sunflowers just in the ground there. So this bit of ground I have got ready to grow. So the last of the beetroot come up last week and the last of the spring onions. And I have this big space. I'm very aware of this space and it's keeping me awake at night to know what to put in it. Am I going to pop some compost on it and then pop some seed in for something that's going to be ready for early autumn to grow? Or do I see if I can get some more summer crops in, some more beets and things like that, because I am a lover of beetroot. So I haven't decided. So if anyone can come up with an idea of what I can do, because the ground isn't too bad. There's a few big cracks, but it's not actually too bad, to be honest. I think on the top it's not too bad. I was hoping with the rain it would soften a little bit. It hasn't really, so I think I'm going to have to unfortunately ask for a help from somebody big and strong to come over and give it a good dig, add some compost to it and then grow some more. So yeah, so that's my small no dig bed and I'm very happy with that one. Another frame, you'll have to excuse my shadow, I'm trying to help a little bit with the sun. Another frame here that I popped up 2 weeks ago now, all the way down to the other side. So I have them both on the same side. Nothing in the middle as of yet. Again, my brain has got to kick in to get that done. These are peas. So peas and beans I have grown together because I had a little accident with the packets. They got wet. They joined forces. So I thought rather than throw them away, I'll just chuck them all in there and see what happens. And this has happened. We have germination. So yeah, I'm not sure. This is a little trial. And if it works really well, definitely something I'm going to do again. And then a quick walk over to the front. And we have some rhubarb in there. That's only just been popped in there. It didn't do very well in the big pot I had it in. So I thought I will try that because underneath is the ground. And then we had lots of nasturtiums, which I cut back because the black fly was so bad that we couldn't walk onto the plot because you get covered in it. And then you've got some herbs just here. Let's have a little good rub of that. Oh, it smells amazing. lemon thyme. There is just no nicer smell. And we've got some empty ones here, purely empty because we just haven't had time to fill them. So as we're going along, we're finding some dirt we can put in there, and if we have any spare compost, we pop that in there. And then the beautiful lavender there. It's the first time we've grown lavender as well. I've never grown lavender before. And my hand is going to smell like many, many things. I mean, look at that. So, so pretty. Oh, it just smells gorgeous, and the pollinators on there. It's just beautiful. The strawberry patch was an epic fail this year, she says, and I can see some strawberries on there. Let's have a look. Oh, look at that. That's not too bad. I will pick some of those before I leave. I say it was an epic fail because this is an old crop, and I popped them in there really just to see what would happen. So we are planning on doing something brand new with strawberries next year. Have a lot more because I am a strawberry fiend. And we've got some fruit bushes again next year. We definitely need to pop these into something bigger. I wasn't expecting it to get so big. There's one of my ladybird friends. I made friends with ladybirds this year. I've never been a really big fan of ladybirds, but knowing how much they help, I made friends, and now I'm forever going around picking them up from wherever I go to make sure they're safe. And we have the corn. So I've tried to grow corn before in my garden years ago, very unsuccessfully. I mean, I got the cobs, but they were wrecked because I didn't know about pollinating them. So they are all different stages. So I've got the smaller stage, the larger stage. So I'm not sure what's going to happen here with the pollination because they are all completely different. I have popped them in a raised bed, mainly because of the rats. There are rats here and they like the corn, and we haven't had no issues since I've put them in here. So that's that one there. And then I'm going to flip you around to the mess. That is our workstation. This is where we put in all the bits and pieces while we build stuff and things like that, because we do a lot of the frames for the beds using pallets. And then we have our fourth attempt at cauliflowers. So these are well netted away from the white cabbage butterflies. They have got some damage on them. I mean, this one's been completely shredded. But 3, I'll be happy with 3, because again, that's for the cauliflower cheese for Christmas. This one has been completely destroyed as well. Over to the large no-dig bed, we have lots of sunflowers in here, the giant variety. I'd say they're at 5 foot, some of them now, some of them 4 foot, some of them 5 foot. So they are in there with the leeks. They are in there with what cauliflower we had left. I think there's 3 left. But the leeks are looking pretty fat. So I'm thinking to myself, when do I pull those up? Because I forgot when I planted them. There's 2 or 3 there that are very fat. We've got some herbs in there as well. Again, we've had issues with cabbage whites in this bed. And then we have a row here of raised beds with some fruit bushes just on the end. So there's nothing in this one at the moment. I am planning on putting parsnips in that one. And I have got some bits and pieces in here which I've totally forgotten what I've planted. But looking at it already looks like it's been eaten. So that might have to come up and restart. That's a shame. I have got some irrigation systems here, but not many. And then over to this side, we have got my spring onions and carrots that I popped in. So the spring onions have come up. They're looking great. Let's see if I can get a better view. But the carrots I planted in the middle, I have absolutely nothing. I mean, you can see that I kept it damp, mulched it, looked after it, nursed it, because carrots are a funny old thing. And I have absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And it's been 3 weeks now. Me and carrots, we don't get on. We're not friends. I love the things. They're delicious. But we don't get on. Because I've tried to grow them 3 times now, and this has just been an epic fail every single time. So then you've got another pumpkin plant here. But this one in here, oh, looks like a jungle. You have lots of pumpkins in this one. So this is my daughter's bed. There is so many in here. Let me see if I can get round to this side. There's another one growing there. Lots of marigolds in there. The marigolds are doing lovely in the raised beds. and a sunflower at the end. Again, always bearing in mind the pollinators. So this one here, the flower has popped off on this one. That probably won't last, I imagine then. But yeah, and then she's got some baby corn growing here as well. I say baby corn, some of this is bigger than my sweet corn. So these went in and they've grown fantastically, and 2 weeks ago she popped some more sunflowers in. She loves them. Just here, and these are swede. She fancied swede. She doesn't eat many vegetables, but that's one that she did say that she liked. Nothing else seems to be coming up here, so I'm going to get her to pop something else in there, maybe some more of the swede, because we did keep some seeds. There's a little bit of germination there, because I don't want to waste any space, and another irrigation system just there. So that goes right up under the ground to keep it moist down there as well, because of the problems that we've had with the sunshine. We have a couple of trees. This one's not done very well at all. This one has got something definitely wrong with it, but at the bottom there is growth, so I'm hoping next year we can sort that one out. Do need to have a little bit of investigating to see when I can cut this back. So we have 2 cherry and 2 plum. So this is one of the plum ones, and this, because I think I did one of each. Oh no, they're both plum ones. So this is what the plum one's supposed to look like, and that one's done absolutely fantastic. That one not. So I'm not sure why. And then we have, last but not least, the gherkins. So let's have a look, because I've already had quite a few off of here. Obviously being very, very gentle with these. They do need a really good water. They're not doing great. It's just trying to get everything watered. There's a lot of leaves on that one. Let's try the other side. So this frame that I got here is what people get deliveries on, and I thought it would be perfect to keep them off of the ground, to be able to grow them into pots, and then just do a bit of framework with string around it. Now let's have a look. So there's a little baby one in there. Oh, there's a bigger one just there. I was hoping to show you a nice big one. It doesn't look like there's any on here unless they've already been picked. Who would have picked my gherkins? Because I am pretty sure I had some bigger ones on here. I mean, there's tons of flowers. There's another one in there. I don't know if you can see that one. Okay, so I found them. They are hiding from me right in this corner here. So we have, you'll have to excuse that leaf. We have one just here, which is not ready. Another one just here, again not ready, the flower's still on the end, and right on the other side we have an even bigger one. Oh, I knew we had some there, so I'm hoping by Wednesday when I'll be back up they will be ready to eat. So that is everything that we are currently growing at the moment, and then to go with all of that we have the water tank, which is definitely not full up. It's only that full, so just there, which will do one lot of water in and that's it. We got the cover just to protect it a little bit, and the shed we didn't get until quite late, which is why we haven't got a lot of water, along with not having a lot of rain. And just your bog standard basic shed with all your necessities in there. Ball pit balls, which still haven't gone on the sticks. I've got a roll of cover fleece for when we need that. A nice mat for when I finally finish the decking, and all your essentials in there. So you've got feed, your wellies, seeds, tools, just about everything really. Some seeds up there that's the ones I was hoping to get in next. Box of gloves, you always need a box of gloves. And then some shandy for the traps, which I haven't ended up using because we haven't had enough rain really to warrant using the traps. 2 more raised beds in there ready to go out, but there's no point doing that while we have empty ground at the moment. So I hope you enjoyed. Here's an angle from my shed. There you go. So not huge, but big enough for enough harvesting for all the things that I like to eat. So this is my happy place. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe, and I will show you the plot again next week. See you in my garden soon. Bye.